Are you known as the people pleaser in your family or at the office? Is it hard for you to say no? And even harder for you to trust others? Do you blame yourself for everyday breakups? These are all telltale signs that you may have an underlying abandonment issue. Abandonment issues usually stem from abandonment in childhood and usually pop back up during romantic relationships or other close connections during adulthood. Welcome back, Psychos. In today's video, we'll be discussing 15 signs that you have an abandonment issue. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, as well as click the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Number 1. You're a partner pleaser. Partner pleaser, people pleaser, whatever you want to call it, people who have underlying abandonment issues often feel the need to please everyone around them in hopes that it will provide some gratification for them. You put other people's needs and wants before your own in every situation, which quickly becomes a toxic cycle of weak personal boundaries and difficulty for standing up for yourself. This pleasing all stems from the fear that if you don't do everything that you think they want or need, your partner will look elsewhere. So they please them, even at the expense of their own mental health and satisfaction of the relationship. Number 2. You're quick to attach. Everyone and anyone who shows you an inkling of love or interest in people with abandonment issues will have these people thinking they are head over heels in love, or at least give them the feeling of needing that person in their lives. The act of mentally and emotionally attaching to people so quickly also stems from the underlying feelings of unworthiness and lack of self-love. They are worried that if they don't jump on this opportunity, they will never find someone who looks at them the same way. This can quickly lead to settling for toxic connections and having considerably low standards. Number 3. You're quick to move on. For people with abandonment issues, they can attach to someone just as fast as they can drop them for the next new shiny object. Like we mentioned, anyone who shows an inkling of interest towards these people will have them believing they are the one. There is no grace period for grieving, healing and evaluating for these people. The hurt feelings that come from a breakup are so quickly buried and distracted by the overwhelming feelings of becoming attached to someone else. So, if you're known as the person who's never single because you're a mess when you are, you may have some underlying abandonment issues. Number 4. You settle in relationships. Toxic relationships can be easy to slip into, especially at the beginning stages when you're experiencing your partner through rose-coloured glasses. For a mentally healthy person, however, as soon as the negative traits begin to appear in an unhealthy partner, we begin to question things. This isn't quite the case for people struggling with abandonment. In fact, many people with abandonment issues are known for settling for abusive, unequal, or draining relationships because their underlying fear of abandonment trumps any negative views they have of their partner, often resulting in years of turmoil until a new person comes into the picture. Number 6. You're an insecure person. If you've gotten this sign from the first 5, people who suffer from abandonment issues are extremely insecure people with a low self-esteem, but sometimes they're completely unaware. People with abandonment issues often share the idea that they are never good enough and suffer from the anxiety of not living up to people's expectations. They often have trouble making decisions on their own in fear of failing, or often feel like the decisions they do make end up failing miserably, which is most often untrue. Number 7. You're incredibly jealous. And with insecurity comes its sister, jealousy. You can't be jealous if you are confident, and you can't be insecure without being a little jealous. People with abandonment issues don't feel like whole people. They feel the part of themselves is missing, and that part being confidence. So they look at people around them that seem to have this confidence trait, and they become extremely envious of that. This jealousy also leads to feelings of unfaithful partners, or the feeling that you can't provide your partner with everything that the other acquaintances in their lives can, which is mostly true. As a partner, we are not their colleagues, friends, or parents, and we shouldn't have to feel like we need to be. Number 8, you feel unworthy. Surprise! You have triplets. Welcome the other sister, unworthiness. When you find security in jealousy, unworthiness shouldn't be too far behind. Stemming from feelings of self-insecurity come self-doubt and unworthiness. People with abandonment issues often feel a sense of undeserving of love, making real love seem almost fabricated and unrealistic when it does come their way. You truly can't see why and how someone could love you for who you are, so you put on a front to make yourself seem more likeable in your eyes. This results in never experiencing real love, because you can never be loved for who you are if you're not who you are. Number 9, you dodge emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy is a crucial aspect in all relationships. It involves the perception of closeness to another being through sharing feelings, understanding one another, and caring or affirming one another's feelings. For people with abandonment issues, this fake front that is put on in place of insecure feelings and unworthiness comes with ingenuine feelings and emotions. Not only will your partner not know who you really are, especially during attempts of emotional intimacy from your partner. To put your guard down during times of emotional intimacy would be to welcome vulnerability, and that just won't fly for a person with abandonment issues. Although these people could live a long life with no emotional intimacy, the other partner probably won't be okay with it. Number 10, separation is torture. For people with abandonment issues, separation is easy when there is another person of interest waiting to take the spot of the one who's leaving. Otherwise, separation of all types can be torturous for this type of person. This type of separation anxiety can also show on a smaller scale in romantic relationships by not being okay with letting your partner do things without you. As we mentioned, a healthy relationship is based on a balance of together time and alone time in order to have time to recharge, reset, and show up as your best self. For people with abandonment issues, however, spending time alone can send them in a downward spiral. Number 11, you visualize the worst case scenario. With the familiarity surrounding dysfunctional and toxic relationships throughout their lives, people with abandonment issues often think of the worst case scenario when it comes to relationships of all types. These people are constantly bombarded with thoughts of their partners being unfaithful, uninterested, or unrealistic. Usually time apart from the partner will amplify these thoughts, contributing to that downward spiral. They will often get so immersed in these negative thoughts that they will become completely convinced, resulting in them treating their partners different. This can bring on feelings of separation and all the turmoil that comes with it, when really, it's all only in their heads. Number 12, you overanalyze connections. Since people with abandonment issues are always looking for the flaws in people and relationships, they tend to overanalyze the little things in order to confirm and fabricate their ideas. They often pick up every subtle comment, move in body language, and past scenario to try and piece together and find greater meaning to it all, usually a negative-sided one. This can be an extremely difficult trait to deal with as a partner because they will not only feel the need to watch their every move, but they will also have to constantly convince you of their intentions or you will blow them out of proportion. Number 13, you have criticism hypersensitivity. Because people with abandonment issues are so convinced that nobody could love them for who they are constantly overanalyzing situations and reactions of people around them in an attempt to fish out criticism for themselves. In other words, they are constantly on the lookout for criticism and ways they need to improve. This comes from the low self-worth quality that results in these people being absolutely convinced that their partners, or anyone else for that matter, is unhappy with them in some way, just as they are unhappy with themselves. Number 14, you need to control. Abandonment issues come from a past feelings of having no control over a situation. So it's no surprise that these people feel best when they have some type of control over their lives. In fact, with all this uncontrollable chaos in their brain, people with abandonment issues find ways to control other areas of their life to feel a sense of grounding and responsibility. However, they seem to try to control things that really don't require micromanaging, often leading to frustration and a lack of privacy in other people. For people with abandonment issues, living life carefree, outside of their comfort zones with their hair down, is considered to be an absolute madness. Their uptight nature gives them a sense of organisation among the mental chaos they experience. Number 15. You blame yourself. We all blame ourselves for situations that are unpreventable from time to time. However, people with abandonment issues are constantly putting themselves at blame for everything. When you live life feeling inferior to others, it's easy to convince yourself that the reason things went downhill was all your fault, especially in breakups. Considering these people go through relationships feeling unworthy and convinced that their partners could do better than them, it's not surprising that when the relationship does come crashing down, it confirms all their assumptions. This instills the belief that they are not good enough emotionally, physically, and intellectually, which are the same toxic beliefs they will carry into the next relationship. So, Psychos, do you relate to any of these things that you may have abandonment issues? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel for more Psycho videos. We hope you learned something, and we'll see you in the next one.